We are counting down 10 iconic Aussie fast food chains you can no longer visit, but you will never forget. From cult favorites that vanished almost overnight, to brands swallowed by rivals you still eat today, and even one with actual animatronic kangaroos, this list is pure nostalgia fuel. Which former food court legend claimed number 1? Let us crack open the Aussie time capsule, starting with number 10. Burger brought something different to the Aussie fast food scene, especially for anyone in Queensland who wanted a break from the usual. Sunnybank, Southport and Upper Mount Gravatt were the spots where rice burgers and minimalist menus became a quiet cult favourite. The menu felt fresh, and that first bite of a rice bun became a proper memory for anyone who tried it. But even with a global following and thousands of outlets in Japan, MOS Burger could not crack the local market long term. Every Australian store closed for good in 2024, leaving behind a short but sweet legacy as the go-to place for people wanting something a bit different. Back in the 1960s, before the Golden Arches took over, Wimpy was the burger stop for a generation of Aussies. These were the days of simple counter service and old school burger bars, when takeaway meant a wax paper wrapped burger handed over the counter with a smile. Wimpy outlets popped up in suburbs and cities across the country, drawing in families and teenagers long before food courts or drive-thrus were the norm. For many, Wimpy was the first taste of fast food, before the world got its first Maccas. By 1975, the last Wimpy burgers were served here as the global giants moved in, and this early pioneer faded into memory. The southwest of Western Australia in the early 90s meant surf beaches, servo stops, and river rooster chicken packs riding shotgun. Born in Bustleton and Margaret River in 1991, this homegrown chain brought charcoal and fried chicken to every family road trip and Friday night footy feed. Locals remember the name change too. A community competition picked the new brand, and Chook's fresh and tasty signs started popping up across regional Western Australia. The menu kept its family pack heart, but with a bit of chain polish, it felt like a local shop in a uniform. For a while, Chook's even spread into Queensland and Tasmania, filling gaps where the big players had not landed. But in 2010, Chook's was folded into Chicken Treat, and the original Western Australian flavour faded out, leaving the memory of that unmistakable charcoal aroma drifting through country towns. Perth nights had a rhythm all their own, and Fast Eddie's was the heartbeat after dark. Opened in 1979, this neon-lit diner became the answer to every late-night craving, from post-gig burgers to early morning milkshakes. The Murray Street landmark pulled in everyone: taxi drivers, university students, musicians, anyone chasing a feed when the city was asleep. Inside, the walls were plastered with old memorabilia. The menu was stacked with classics, like the Eddie Burger and the Cop the Lot. The promise was simple: you would never be kicked out for lingering over chips at 3 in the morning. For 41 years, Fast Eddie's was more than a diner. It was a ritual, a third place for the night owls of Perth. When the last Central Business District location closed in May 2019, it was not just the end of a business, but the end of an era for Western Australia's all-night crowd. Birthday parties in Perth in the early 80s had one unbeatable destination: Pizza Showtime on Murray Street. This was not just a pizza joint, it was a full-blown entertainment centre with arcade games built right into the tables and a stage show starring a cast of animatronic Aussie animals. The real showstopper was the animatronic band, a piano playing kangaroo, koalas, even a horse named Ned Kelly. And there was Ringo Dingo, voiced by none other than Jack Thompson, a detail that still gets a double take decades later. Pizza Showtime only lasted from 1980 to around 1984, but for anyone who saw those birthday shows or heard the clack of arcade buttons under the glow of neon, it is a memory that sticks. When the doors shut, the characters were packed up and sent to Sydney, leaving behind a slice of Perth childhood that has never really been replaced. Queensland families in the late 70s knew the routine. A big rooster family pack on the way home, roast chook warming the car, chips barely making it past the driveway. Big Rooster was the local hero in the chicken wars. Its sunny branding and golden boxes, a fixture from Brisbane to Cairns. While KFC pushed American-style buckets, Big Rooster doubled down on Aussie-style roast and fried chicken, making it the go-to for Friday nights and weekend gatherings. But as the 90s rolled in, the game changed. Coles Myer, already running Red Rooster, swooped in and bought up Big Rooster stores, one state at a time. By the end, every Queensland outlet wore Red Rooster red. The wild twist? Big Rooster did not vanish everywhere. It is still clucking along in Papua New Guinea, a quirky survivor of Australia's original chicken wars. Pizza Haven started out in Glenelg, Adelaide, back in 1984. Just a couple of brothers, a family mortgage, and a dream of delivering hot pizza to every suburb in the country. It did not take long before the name showed up everywhere on city corners, shopping centre strips, even tucked between the chemist and the video shop. Before apps and online deals, it was all about the phone order. The fridge magnet with the local store number was a fixture in Aussie kitchens. Their boxes had a look you can still picture, and every regular had a go-to order for Friday nights or after-school hangs. By the late 1990s, Pizza Haven had carved out a loyal following, standing toe-to-toe with the big brands. But as the pizza wars heated up, bigger chains circled. In 2008, Eagle Boys swooped in and bought the business, and the Pizza Haven name slowly disappeared, leaving behind a generation of fridge magnets and memories of dialing in for a slice. Eagle Boys Pizza started with a single store in Albury in 1987 and quickly became a fixture in Aussie suburbs, thanks to its bold pink branding and that unmistakable eagle logo. By the early 2010s, Eagle Boys had expanded to more than 300 stores. Friday nights meant giant family deal boxes, paper coupons scattered on the kitchen table, and a pizza taste that felt uniquely local. It was not just the pizzas that stood out, but the sense of Aussie independence. The chain was proudly homegrown, a real alternative to the global giants. But behind the scenes, rapid expansion and ownership changes put the brakes on the good times. By 2016, the store count had dropped below 130, and just a year later, Eagle Boys was gone for good. The brand that once seemed everywhere vanished almost overnight, leaving behind only faded signs and a pink glow in the memory of anyone who ever grabbed a last-minute pizza before the footy. The sound of tongs clacking at the salad bar, the scent of cheese toast wafting from the kitchen. Sizzler was more than a restaurant. For families across Australia, it was a ritual. Weekends meant lining up at the buffet, plotting your plate strategy, and racing your siblings to the soft serve machine. The cheese toast alone became legend, crisp and buttery, and somehow never quite the same at home. In the 1990s and the 2000s, Sizzler was everywhere. Shopping centre outposts, birthday dinners, and end-of-term celebrations. You could spot the green and gold sign from the car park, promising a feed with something for everyone. But as tastes changed and buffets lost their shine, the crowds thinned. Collins Foods quietly closed the last Australian Sizzlers in 2020, ending an era of all-you-can-eat chaos. The strange part, Sizzler still thrives in parts of Asia. Here, it is just a memory, the sound of plates stacking up and the feeling you could always go back for one more slice of cheese toast. Ollie's Trolleys was the kind of fast food fever dream you had to see to believe. It was tram themed, with fried chicken on the menu, and a name you would spot everywhere from Collingwood to Frankston. The restaurants looked like little suburban trams, decked out with red and yellow branding, clinker bricks, and arched roofs that stuck in your memory long after the chips were gone. For families in Victoria through the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, Ollie's was a household name. Birthday dinners, Friday night chicken, and Sundays in plastic cups. The ads were pure Aussie pop culture, with Skyhook's singer Shirley Strachan front and centre, and Tina Arena also getting a mention in the nostalgia trail. But as the big brands circled, everything changed. In the early 90s, KFC bought up the Ollie's stores, and just like that, the tram signs disappeared. All that is left now are the stories, and the feeling that for a while, Victoria had a fried chicken chain, all its own. Across all 10 entries, one pattern stands out. Fast food chains shape our memories, but their survival is never guaranteed. Brands can feel permanent, but taste, trends and takeovers constantly remake the Aussie food landscape. In the end, it is the memories, not just the menus, that last.